And welcome back. Now, the Council of Governors has established a special committee to spearhead peace efforts, dialogue and national reconciliation in the wake of plans by NASA to swear in Raila Odinga on December the 12th. The governors now say that they are working to ensure Kenya remains united despite growing concern over an uncertain political future.
We want peace, unity and cohesion. We will not stand by as the country gets torn apart by ethnicity and tribal politics. Fourth, the Council has therefore established a committee to spearhead this agenda on peace and national unity, to spearhead this agenda on national reconciliation, dialogue and healing. The members of that committee that has been formed today include His Excellency Josephat Nanok, who will be convening it, His Excellency Colonel Rasanga, His Excellency Kifutha Kibwana, His Excellency Wycliffe Oparanya, His Excellency High Excellency Joyce Laboso, His Excellency Jackson Madago, High Excellency Charity Ngilu, His Excellency Francis Kimemia, His Excellency Kiraito Murungi, and finally His Excellency Salim Mvurya.
Tumesema tutaketi ama kukaa kujifanya ya kuwa tujui ambaye yanaendelea katika taifa la Kenya. Na kwa sababu ya hiyo kuhakikisha Kenya hii ni moja na kuna umoja na viongozi waweza kufanya kazi pamoja ili tuweze kuboresha uchumi. Baraza la magavana wametengeneza kamati ambayo itashughulikia haya mambo.
Right, and let's break a little bit from politics now. And tension has engulfed Sirare village of Bungoma County following a decision by Bukusu elders to descend on the village with threats of a curse. This was after the elders accused one of the villagers of disrupting the ecosystem of a sacred place, usually used by Bukusu boys undergoing circumcision rituals. Robert Wanyonyi with that story.
This was the drama that erupted at Sirare village in Bungoma County. Elders from the Bukusu community arriving here in style in what they explained was to protect the community's culture. It's an incident that has created tension and fear among the villagers as the elders accused one of them of engaging in agricultural activities in a place considered as sacred, used by boys who are ready to be circumcised.
Cultural sites iko kwa mikono ya wananchi wenyewe with the Department ya Culture and Social Services. Na tena ukiangalia hapa hii sehemu inachangia kabisa kwa maji ambayo inalinda hii mto.
According to the chairman of circumcisers in Bungoma County, Sinino Omkolongolo, it's an abomination for anyone to engage in any activities that can disrupt the ecosystem of the sacred place.
Saliwa hapa, ni mimi mkaaji wa hapa, I'm the circumciser, I'm the chairman of Rukembe, Bulalabwe Balusanya, na hii mimi nimeonelea ya kwamba pahali hapa ni pahali ya watu wengi, ni community ya watu. Hatutaki mtu anunue bahari hapa alafu haribu.
The elders argued that in case the person disrupting the environment around the sacred place will not be stopped, then all mature men who may have used the sacred place before facing the circumciser's knife may face some unexpected calamities, including sudden deaths.
Ni chemichemi ya uko kutoka zamani sakale, hatutaki watoto wetu waharibike. Kwa sababu tunataka watoto wetu wawe na usawa wa kuzaa watoto.
And when it was apparent that the elders were going to make good their threat of a curse upon him, the accused person decided to flee from the meeting that had been convened by the area chief to find a lasting solution. The elders have insisted that in spite of an increase in population that has seen some residents seek for alternative land, the Bukusu cultural sites must be avoided and protected at all costs.
Sasa kama culture yetu wanaharibu namna hivi, sijui nyuma tutakaa namna gani. Sasa ninaomba serikali yetu itume watu waangalie kila pahali penye iko chemchemu, chemchemi, chondoni iwe protected.
With the threat of a curse looming large within the residents of Sirare village, most of them have now decided to vacate the village until Bukusu elders come back and lift the curse upon the community. Robert Wanyonyi, KTN News.
I guess you really have to scatter in the face of threats of an elder's curse. Let's move on now. And 4 Kenyans who had been jailed in South Sudan were officially welcomed back home by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs after spirited lobbying to have them released bore fruits. The release was made possible yesterday following talks that had lasted for 2 years between President Uhuru Kenyatta and South Sudan's leader, Salva Kiir.
The 4, Boniface Chuma Muriuki, Anthony Mwadime, Ravi Ramesh, and Anthony Keamunyalo had been sentenced to life imprisonment, but the sentence was later reduced to 9 years after an appeal by the Kenyan government.
It has been a long period of uncertainty and anguish, because as you all know, being away from home and incarcerated in a foreign land is no easy matter. As a government, we too have been deeply concerned, and since the May of 2016 have been fully engaged with the government of South Sudan.
Experience there, of course, you know, it's a country which peace is not there. It is there, it is not there, it is not stable. So also it's very worrying for our families as well.
Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Monica Juma has cautioned all Kenyans seeking greener pastures abroad to be more careful in their hunt for jobs, lest they fall into traps.
It was very unfortunate that, as the PS has mentioned right now, that I don't know why, but we fell into this. And but anyway, we are just happy that we are back home.
It is very important to contact the Ministry of Foreign Affairs before you contract, before you commit yourself, before you travel abroad, and in the promise, because of a promise of a great opportunity.
The Kenyan government has assured of its commitment to protect its citizens living abroad in such situations, while saying the experience of the 4 should serve as a lesson to others.
This is a caution because when it happens away from home, the dangers are bigger and riskier. That is why we are saying we would urge everyone that is taking a job away from home to really try and do due diligence so that you don't fall in the wrong.
Together with 12 non-Kenyan nationals, the 4 were accused of collaborating to swindle the South Sudanese government of 1.5 billion shillings through the firm they were working for at the time. The men have undergone a thorough medical checkup to ascertain that they are in good health. Caroline B., KTN News.
The Kenyan fight against corruption is one that has seemed futile, with commissioners of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission experiencing high turnover at the body. The bodies tasked with waging war on graft today came together at the second Anti-Corruption Summit and acknowledged that the problems at the EACC have also frustrated the prosecution of over 100 cases.
It is a vice that has hogged headlines in Kenya for decades as stories of billions of shillings of taxpayers' money looted kept streaming in. However, those involved in corruption cases are seen as heroes and even vie for political office. The Kenya Human Rights Commission in its second People's Anti-Corruption Summit highlighting the need to change strategies in the fight.
We have also seen during the campaign where massive resources were also used to bribe voters. And us as a commission, we also believe very strongly that the root cause or the major reasons as to why we are unable to fight corruption is also the correlation between elections, politics, and corruption.
The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has come under fire from Kenyans for not performing as expected. But according to EACC,
now on partnership and networks and collusions, because corruption, remember, the theme is united against corruption. So no one single authority or body or person can do that. It is me, you, and all of us.
The Office of Director of Public Prosecutions seemingly receiving similar reactions from Kenyans. These, even as the Court of Appeal stopped the prosecution of former cabinet secretaries and 125 corruption cases, saying that at the time EACC investigated the cases, it did not have commissioners.
We have a number of witnesses who are willing to testify, whistleblowers who are willing to come forward. However, You know the nature of corruption cases. It is not any other crime. It's normally committed by people who are well-mannered and therefore can go to any length to sabotage the case. This includes, of course, threatening witnesses if they can, or buying the witnesses.
Even as the world prepares to mark the World Anti-Corruption Day on the 9th of December, the fight against this menace remains to be a role of each and everyone. George Marenga, KTN News, Nairobi.
A section of non-governmental organizations working in Western Kenya have been accused of misusing donor funds, a scenario that caused some Bungoma residents to prevent a human rights group from holding celebrations to mark the International Human Rights Week in Bungoma town. Robert Wanyonyi with that story.
A section of non-government organizations working in Western Kenya have been accused by the residents of using them as baits to receive donor funding.
Non-government organizations zimekuwa nyingi kuliko hata ile kazi ambayo inafanywa. To an extent wale wenye wanasimamia ni kama sasa wamechukua hiyo imefanya ni kama ni biashara. Wajaribu kudanganya watu wa vijijini wale wenye hawaelewi. Kwa wanawasaidia, lakini ukiona sana wakati mwingi ni kukaa katika seminars. Wanaambia watu maneno, wanawapatia some allowances, lakini ukienda mashinani huoni ile kazi ambayo nyingi zinafanya.
The residents who spoke in Bungoma town at the launch of this year's celebrations to mark the International Human Rights Week accused the organizers of lack of transparency.
Pesa nyingi sana ambazo zinakuja kwa misaada zinaenda kwa mifuko ya wachache. Na hilo ndo tatizo ambalo limetatiza popote pale ambapo ni mimi nimewahi kushuhudia, mimi kama Musa nimewahi kushuhudia ya kwamba zinaenda kwa mifuko ya wachache. Unakuta kwamba kwa muda mfupi tu jamaa ndio huyo basi ana gari lake la kifahari. Unakuta yani inakuaje?
Hatuoni kama mashirika haya mengi ambayo yamechipuka kama vile yanavyosaidia watu kama NGOs zingine kama vile Red Cross.
They claim that in spite of the many project proposals that are written by the various non-government organizations, including the organizers of the human rights event, the groups have nothing tangible to prove on the ground.
Chenye ningeambia serikali kuu, if at all something wameleta kwa watu binafsi, wenyewe wakuwe na watu wa kufuatilia na wajue kwamba hii vitu vyote zinafika kwa mwananchi wa kawaida.
Lakini kuna nyingine zinafanya kazi nzuri. Haswa ukiona kama Red Cross. Red Cross is a non-government organization. Inafanya kazi nzuri sana. Lakini kuna zingine hata ukienda katika NGO board, unaweza kupata non-government organization karibu 10,000. Na hizi zote ukijaribu kufuatilia zinafanya kazi gani?
The organizers were at pains to explain to the residents their expenditures, considering that many of them have initiated community projects that have turned out into white elephants in villages.
Mashirika sio ya kiserikali yanaingilia kwa kweli kufanya kazi yake na kuenenda na madhumuni ama maudhui yaliyosababisha wao kuuliza msaada. Kwa kweli tungekuwa tuko mbali kabisa.
Nyingi sana ni lazima zichunguzwe tujue ni gani inasaidia wananchi na ni gani iko tu hapo kufanya biashara yao.
Urging the government to intervene and save them from mushrooming briefcase non-government organizations, the residents also vowed to disrupt the activities of some of the NGOs in the region if they will continue carrying their activities without the input from the local community.
Ali pia lazima itafute mbinu ya kiwerevu ya kufikia kuzuia hawa matapeli kuendelea kutapeli wa Kenya.
Hiyo mambo yenye imetendeka leo, hawa wenye walipepana na kitambaa hawa, lakini tunasema kwanza, kitu cha kwanza kama kaunti yetu, tayari hiyo ni aibu sana. Kwa sababu vitu vinatendeka, lakini hata watu wengine wa chini hatuwezi tukaelewa, lakini sasa tunaomba gavana yetu aweze kuweka mikakati na angalie hiyo maneno.
Time appears to be up for some NGOs operating within Western Kenya, with some residents accusing some of them of misappropriating funds from donors. And today it was the turn of one NGO that was prevented from marching within the streets of Bungoma town. Robert Wanyonyi, KTN News.